Hey, y'all, we've got a special episode of the Late Night Vision Show. Congratulations to us. I don't know. Congratulations to you. Today's the first day of SHOT Show. We are excited to be with you. And as we typically do, what we did last year and what we're going to be doing this year is we have a full day of just nothing but manufacturer interviews. And these are intimate conversations with the manufacturer to provide the latest information on what's going to be coming out from SHOT Show. Jason, a co-host, owner of Outdoor Legacy, Mr. Jason Robertson. How's it going, bud?
Man, it's going good today, Hans. I'm excited. This is our favorite time of year. We love the SHOT Show, all that goes on. We get to see all the new stuff that's going to be coming out for the year 2023 this year. And so, again, this is recorded just a little bit early, a few days or a week or two before SHOT Show. But again, it's being released live the first day of SHOT Show. And today we are excited to be back here interviewing a good friend of ours and a friend of the show, Mr. Trent Henckell. He is the Director of Sales at AGM Global Vision USA. And Trent is a good guy, and we are glad to have him back on the show. He's been on here before. He was on here, I think, last year for SHOT Show. So we're glad to have him, and y'all stick with us. We're fixing to roll right in here and talk to Trent. Hey, y'all, welcome back. And Trent, we are glad to have you with us tonight. Thank you for coming back on the show.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. Happy to be here for another year, and definitely happy to hear that y'all didn't cancel me the last time.
It was close. I mean, it came down to we were drawing straws, picking numbers, and say, is Trent going to come back, or is there somebody else over there? Somebody that works on the loading dock that can come out here and talk to us, or what? But no, we are glad. We're glad to have you back, Trent. We love you. Jason talked about in the intro how you've come to Texas before to hang out with us. You've come to Ben Wheeler, Texas, where I live, to hang out with us, and it's always a good time to see you. We wish it was in person, but right now the SHOT Show is going on live. Even though we're pre-taping this, we're walking around the show and we probably have already seen you and said, hey. So, but I know what everybody's here for. They want to hear about the new stuff. They want to hear breaking news. I'm going to tell you, don't go anywhere, y'all, because we have all of that. It has been a busy year for AGM. 2022 was a great year. I know that you're expecting, and we're expecting good things for this year, 2023. But let's talk a little bit, before we get into new stuff, before we get into breaking news, let's talk about AGM as a company. The reflection. This is the time of year everybody reflects on last year. What was good about last year? What are we going to do to make things better this year? But let's talk a little bit about the company and where do you go from here?
Absolutely. So on that note, AGM's still relatively new in this market and space. We've come a long way in a short time, but I think it was 2019, on the tail end of 2019, we founded as a company. So 3.5 years in, and we're still going really strong. So last year was a very good year for us. In 2022, we really kind of expanded our line exponentially. Different housings with the adders, additional models with the rattlers, both in 640 resolutions, 256s, and really just trying to provide a lot of options and a lot of features that your users are looking for. So that was a big push for us last year. My main focus as we continue to expand and evolve is, to grow my company, and it's not my company, but I sure treat it like it is. Bringing on good people, good talent. That's across the board. You talk about the loading docks. I'm looking for those good loaders. Whatever we can do to keep customer service taken care of, to keep sales taken care of, quality control, new product development. My main focus in this last 8 months has been really doubling down on what we can do as a company. As we continue to grow, we have a lot of areas for that expansion and growth, and we don't plan on slowing down. So one thing I'll just kind of highlight real quick, talking about some of the changes we kind of brought to play in 2022. Our main corporate facility was always based in Arizona. That's where still a lot of our night vision is being produced. You know, we do a lot with image intensifier tubes, generation 3, generation 2. That's all still coming out of Arizona. We did open a facility in the East Coast, in the Miami area, where we have some sales offices, where we do a lot of demos kind of on the East Coast and getting our product out in front of people. But then we also opened distribution center in the central area in y'all's great state of Texas. So we've got, you know, a lot of expansion and a lot of coverage where we can really try to utilize the West Coast, the Central, and the East Coast, and not just be operating our entire company out of one specific area regional.
Yeah, I tell you, if I ever get invited to any AGM facility, send me to Miami, please. Invite me to Miami just for a little bit. I don't want to like hang out there for too long, but I'd like to see it. But no, that is awesome. You know, with the expansion and being able to bring more offices, more distribution, and also thank you for the recap of 2022, because there's been a lot of highlights for you, a lot of great scopes, a lot of good product being pushed out there. But I know that I want to hear about, Jason, what is brand new. Get him to spill the beans for us.
Well, I hope he does. And I know there's got to be some new good stuff hiding in here. So tell us what it is. We're excited.
Yeah, so a couple things, and everything I'm going to talk about right now. You know, SHOT Show's kind of evolved in the last couple of years, where we go from let's announce everything and sit around for 8 to 10 months waiting on that to come to market. So, you know, everything I'm going to discuss is shipping Q1. There's a 95% possibility by the time this is airing, it's in stock in your warehouse. If it's not, it's probably 2 weeks thereafter. So, you know, everything I'm going to talk through is just a tip of the iceberg. We plan on coming out with new product every quarter, you know, being back on the show to really kind of highlight some additional units. But, you know, starting first and foremost is going to be a new line of thermal monoculars that I'm very excited about. We've seen a lot of success with our Taipan series. You know, we did come out with a Fusion LRF series for some of those guys wanting, you know, a 640 variant, wanting a laser rangefinder option. You know, but one area that we were lacking was any real 640 in that Taipan configuration. So we do have a brand new monocular coming to market. It's going to be called the Sidewinder. There's going to be 4 different models. It's going to be Jason's showing up one right now. It's a little bit larger than the Taipan, but several new and exciting features that are going to go into this unit. It's going to run on an 18650 removable, rechargeable. You're getting anywhere 7 to 8 hour runtime on that 18650. It does have built-in audio recording as well as video. And we're going to have 4 different models, 2 in the 384 configuration and 2 in 640. And one area that I'm really excited to kind of highlight is it's going to be a sub 20 millikelvin sensor inside of these devices, which is, to my knowledge, the lowest on the market. So when you get into some of these high humidity, you know, high contrast type environments, it's really going to help set that record straight and trying to provide a clear image and clear boost. So I'm rambling here, but I know I missed a major key factor. You know, we're going to have these running anywhere from $1,995 to, let me make sure I get this right, $3,500. So we've got a 50 millimeter 640. It's going to be 12 micron, sub 20 millikelvin. It's a 2.5x base magnification at 3,500. And we're going to have on the other end of the spectrum, you know, a $2,000 12 micron, 25 millimeter 384.
So guys, I got to say real quick that Trent was awesome enough to get these are prototypes, right? I mean, there could be some changes from what this is. I mean, these are, he gave me the rundown, like these are prototypes. So but I can tell you, UPS delivered these to me, and about 2 or 3 hours later, Trent called and he goes, "Man, I hate to bug you about this. I know you haven't had time to look at them yet, but when you do, I want your thoughts." And I said, "How would you like to see some hog footage out of these?" And he was like, "Well, that'd be great." I was like, "I've got it."
Yeah,
He was like,
that's awesome.
"Already?" And I was like, "Already." So yeah, it was perfect, man. I mean,
Hmm.
I opened the UPS package, play with them. It got dark. I looked out there, there was hogs, and I was like, headed down there. And guys, the video quality, the image quality, it's legit on these things. And I hope that Hans is going to play some of this video for y'all to see. So it's really, really good. But hey, we're going to talk more about that. Hans and I we'll be in your booth. We'll be checking these things out. We will be talking more on the show about them. But moving on, I know you've got something new you want to talk about here. Now, when we hear AGM, we think thermal. That's what most people think. You're the thermal company. And, you mentioned y'all do a lot of intensifier tube, night vision, PVS 14s, that sort of thing. So, some people do see you as a true, Gen 2, Gen 3 night vision company, but you are fixing to dive off into something else. Tell us what that is, Trent.
Yes, and we've as a company, like you said, it's thermal night vision. Obviously, digital night vision has been a big part of y'all's business, a big part of this industry and market over the last 10 years. And that's really killed a lot of the first generation night vision devices, that you could find 10, 15 years ago that were kind of prevalent at that price point. So one thing we did in 2022 to kind of segue us into this space was a lot of the launching of our 256 resolution thermal scopes, sub $1,000. I think that really kind of opened our contact with a lot of users that were probably digital night vision connoisseurs and maybe didn't have that next step to go into $2,000, $3,000 thermal. So happy to announce, as a company, we are definitely jumping full bore into digital night vision. I've got some new models that we're looking at launching and again, shipping probably end of January, 1st of February, and some digital night vision pieces. So I can jump into each one of those individually or just make sure if either one of y'all got questions about why we did it or where we're trying to go with it.
I think, Trent, with the popularity of night vision, it's still there. And there's a lot of people that want that option. It's not just for people, the misperception is that, oh, well, night vision's only for people that can't afford thermal. That is the worst misconception that there is. Night vision definitely has a space in the market, and it definitely has a space in night hunting in general. There are a lot of people out there that like the idea of the advantage with the true identification of an animal that night vision gives you. They like, obviously, in some cases, if people are hunting around farms or houses, that night vision does give you a more specific ID. But that a lot of times guys will buy a night vision scope and kind of marry that or partner that with a thermal monocular. So you're getting the advantage with the thermal monocular for the detection, and then you're getting the advantage with the night vision for ID. There's a lot of people that do that. Night vision, like I said, very, very much still has a place in the market. And now with you being able to, you're really getting into that spot. I'd really love to see what you got and hear a little bit more about it, because this is something that I know Jason and I will be testing a lot here on the show, and definitely look forward to seeing some more videos through it.
100%. And just to highlight what you said, I get this question a lot. I'm sure you guys do too. Which is better, and it's all down to application. You hit the nail on the head. Night vision gives you higher ability to really kind of recognize and identify your targets. Thermal, you're not going to be hiding from it, but you might not be able to tell what that is bedded down at any given distance. So to kind of mirror what you said, I mean, there is no better, and y'all are as good about this as anybody in the market. What are you using it for? You know, there's so many options out there, whether it's night vision, digital night vision, thermal, and then the variances within that, you know, there's no one size fit all. And, you know, that's really kind of the one thing, back to what Jason keyed in on. You know, we want to be that go-to for thermal and all versions of night vision, not just your green and white phosphor, you know, that are typically used on that higher end, you know, military law enforcement platform. So with digital night vision, and that kind of brings me to our first product. It is called the Neath. It is a digital night vision rifle scope. For those of y'all familiar with any of our AGM varmint series, it's the same housing. Essentially, what we have done is we've removed the laser rangefinder and we've added an IR right above the bell of the scope itself. This will be a 2.5 magnification. Trying to kind of look at some of my specs right here. The resolution itself, for a lot of the guys that have shopped in the digital night vision space, you know, there's a lot of the resolutions are actually broken down by pixel counts, very similar to thermal. But guys might not know that, see that, hear that. You know, there's a lot of HD scopes. There's some 4K scopes in the market. Our resolution is a 2560 by 1440. And all that's going to mean to you is it's right in between the resolution of an HD and a 4K. With our particular unit, we are going to be retailing it at that $799 price point. Is going to come with an American Defense mount. You know, so for any other digital night vision in the space, in the market, you know, I don't know of any that's coming with that $200 mount included. That's something unique to AGM. And when we brought this to market, we decided, I don't want our thermals to come with it, but not our digital night vision. So we've gone ahead and included that with it. And we'll run on an 18650 battery, very similar to the varmint series, getting you about a 7-hour runtime.
Yeah. So guys, this is the unit. And I got to tell you, if there is one thing that I do like about my job, it's getting to play with all of this stuff. And you know what, Trent, sometimes he'll send me something and he's like, now listen, it's a prototype and I'm sorry, and it's not finished. I'm like, I don't care. It's awesome. I'm getting to play with it. But this is it. This is the 18650. And guys, if you are familiar with the AGM varmint, then you know it does look like that. I mean, it's same housing, like he said. This is your IR illuminator, where on the varmint thermal, this would be your laser rangefinder. I've used this unit. Very impressed. Both, you know, the full color daytime looks great. Nighttime image quality is really, really good. And this is a legit scope. The American Defense mount is a big deal. And I'm going to say something, and this is going to go back to your handheld as well. But guys, if there's one thing that I'm going to give praise for to AGM, and that is 18650 batteries. If you watch this podcast, there is something, if you watch it regularly, that you know Hans and I are like 18650s. And the reason that battery is because it's cheap. And I say cheap. They're 15, 20 bucks a piece for really, really good ones. You know, you can get cheap ones for 10, 12 bucks. They're long lasting. You can get them anywhere. You can have a pile of them. They're fantastic. We love them. Thank you, AGM, for listening. Not to us, but listening to the consumer. This is what people want, and you are going to be repaid, you know, with dividends because of this, because people want those batteries, and y'all are listening. I mean, you've done it in multiple scopes. You're continuing to do it. And I'm going to say this, you know, Envision, that they have done that. You know, Envision is awesome for what they've done on the super high end with moving to their 18650s. Y'all have brought this, and I just think it's a really big deal, and it's putting pressure on everybody else. Like, hey guys, AGM's bringing it, you know? So thank you for listening to the consumer on that. It's a really, really big deal.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here for. I mean, you guys get tired of me picking your brains and asking what you're hearing and what you're looking for. And, you know, that's my goal as a company, is to, you know, let's bring solutions to the market. Let's bring in at different price points. Let's bring some different features. You know, let's continuously try to push that envelope forward, and hopefully that's something we're doing. And you know, not to tease here to future projects, but you know, you guys aren't even aware right now. We'll talk in the booth of what you can expect later in the year to some existing models and new versions, and there's a lot of exciting stuff coming around the corner, and you won't be too far to see, you know, that 18650 going in most of our products. So
bring it on. Bring it on.
Well, very good. No, you know, highlighting the Neath, just to jump in, there are 2 additional rifle scopes that we're bringing to market. I say rifle scopes. One is just going to be the same that Jason just covered, the Neath digital rifle scope. We're going to offer as a digital clip-on. You know, clip-ons are it's a hard part of the market. I mean, we've had numerous conversations about clip-ons. The one thing that I like about this option is really no other digital clip-ons available in the market. You know, so we're not expecting this to just blow sales out of the dedicated scope out of the market, but does give a little bit more flexibility to guys that are maybe wanting to pop it on a couple different platforms. You have the ability to do so. And I want to say that's probably going to be mirrored up to an 8X. It's somewhere in that 8 to 10X range as your max co-witness. So for that digital night vision clip-on, also called the Neath, it's just going to be Neath scope or Neath clip-on. You're $100 more in the retail space. So $799 for the scope, $899 for the clip-on. And then lastly, jumping into another existing model, if anybody's familiar with our AGM Adder series, it's your, you know, daytime looking scope, it's your tubular design. We are going to have a digital night vision version of the Adder, which is going to be called the Horus, again coming with an American Defense mount. Going to be a digital night vision rifle scope, going to have the same long lasting battery time. I think y'all have tested it at 12 plus hours, if not mistaken, on some of the Adder models. You'll get that same runtime on the digital night vision Horus. And it's going to be at a higher premium, a higher price point in that $1299.
Good deal. Awesome. Yeah, I've got to test that just a little bit. I know that's an early prototype. I didn't bring it up here tonight, but yeah, can't wait to do some more testing on that as well. So guys, if you were coming to this show for news, you found it. I mean, we've got AGM. Well, number one, I think we don't need to gloss over the fact that AGM's come to Texas. All right, we're proud to have AGM bringing bringing a lot of inventory to Texas from Arizona, and like you said, they got operations on basically coast to coast. But we're glad to have them in Texas, and I know Trent's been down here nearly every week, flying down from Colorado, and he's an old Texas boy. Okay, he's a native Texan, so he's coming back.
I can't hide this accent.
No, you can't. You can't. He's down here visiting his folks all the time and working up there. So we're glad to have AGM in Texas. That's big news. Digital night vision, really big deal. Glad to see these optics again. I want to test them more and really get out there with them. But everything I've seen so far has been fantastic. So that's good news. Again, these Sidewinders, these are legit. They're real deal. So is that all you came with? You got anything else for us? You got some more news? What is it? You got, I mean, are we done? Can we close it up, wrap it up?
We're not done. For those that, and I appreciate you staying on board and waiting until the end. Always save the best for last, but AGM is very proud to announce starting, and this is going live at SHOT Show January 17th. So we're going to roll this back to January 1, 2023. All AGM thermal in 384 and 640 resolution, handheld or weapons mounted, is going to come with a 5-year transferable bumper-to-bumper warranty.
Wow, that is awesome. Yeah,
that is a huge deal.
That might be the biggest breaking news that we've had on here for a long time.
Well, exactly. And we listen, and as we've continued to expand into this market, expand some of our presence in the market. Obviously, we've been able to negotiate internally and be able to take on some of that added, those added years, that added warranty. And it's something I'm excited to bring to your consumers, excited to bring to the market. Because like I said, that's going to be in our $1,000, handhelds. That's going to be in our $2,000 rifle scopes. But that's a 5-year transferable warranty, and we're happy to bring it to y'all. And like I said, I've got a lot more news to come later in the year, but this is definitely an exciting one that I've been looking forward to and really pressing the buttons to get done. So moving forward, and like I said, this is going to have a start date of January 1st, 2023. All 384 and 640 resolution AGM thermals coming with a 5-year transferable warranty.
Guys, that's a big deal. I mean, it's something that when guys are buying scopes, it's an investment. And what we've seen in the industry is if you go back 4, 5, 6 years ago, everybody had a 3-year warranty. I mean, 3-year, 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 that was it. And it was, and to be honest with you guys, 3 years is actually very generous. You can go buy you a $2,000-$3,000. Hans was looking at Max, these fancy laptops that are a couple $1,000 he's got to have to edit this show. They don't come with any 3-year warranty. They come with a 1-year warranty. You go buy you a TV or whatever. Everybody's selling you extended warranty. So 3 years has always been great. But now moving into this, a 5-year warranty, again, as you said, transferable. You keep the thing 2 years, sell it to your buddy. He's got it. He doesn't have to worry. That is a big deal. It's great value for the consumer. And I got to say again, it's just proof AGM is listening to the consumer and to their customers. And I guess if I want to end the show in one way, Trent, here, what I would say is, guys, if you've watched this show and you don't believe that AGM is listening to the consumer, then I don't know what to say to you. 18650 batteries, bringing out more affordable optics, these digital night vision scopes, under $1,000, come in at $799. Again, opening this up for more guys to get into this who may be like, man, I got a wife and 2 kids at home. This is tough, man. I can't go spend $2,000-$3,000, but I want to get out there and have fun at night. They're bringing it with 18650 batteries, and by the way, you buy a 384 or a 640 resolution thermal, 5-year warranty, big deal. Thank you, AGM, for listening.
Yeah.
Happy to do it. And now's my obnoxious plug to, put in the comments. Let us know what you want to see. We're always looking for feedback.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
You asked for it. You are a glutton for punishment, Trent.
Hey, that's why we're here.
Yeah. So, Jason, am I wrong? But is the Sidewinder now the only thermal monocular that you can think of that runs on an 18650 battery?
I've been doing this for almost 10 years now. And I was literally last night laying in bed and I was thinking, is there ever been an 18650 in any thermal monocular? And somebody out there can probably leave a comment if I'm maybe missing one, but I can tell you this, it would have had to have been a long time ago. It would have been nothing mainstream. None of the big thermal companies, the name brands, have ever done an 18650 battery in a thermal handheld that I'm aware of. I don't know of it. It is awesome. It is so exciting. And here's an example of that. I got these things out of the box. I shoved the battery in them, and they were already mostly charged. I went out. Like I said, just a couple hours later, I was messing around with them, and I was out in the field for a good while, and a cold front was coming in. I was getting cold, and I started thinking, man, I hope I don't, this battery is dead. I don't have to go home and charge it. And then I was like, oh, it's an 18650. I got 10 of those.
Yeah, and that's what it's
awesome.
That's what everybody says is when they call in and they're like, oh, it's 18C50. They're like, oh, I've got flashlights that I've got a dozen of those batteries. That's the greatness of it. But Trent, thank you so much. Again, thank you for listening to the industry. Jason and I had nothing to do with it though. Don't let Jason fool you. He will say, he'll try to take credit for it, y'all. Don't worry. But it is y'all's.
Not true.
Y'all are definitely listening to the consumer and you're coming to the market with the right thing. Thank you for being on the show. And hey, you're not fooling anybody with all those books behind you. Those are your wife's books. Those are not your books. You did not read any of those books. And I'm going to be honest with you. I got 2 books on my shelf. One right here, one over here. I've only read one of them. The other one I haven't read. So, but we're not fooling anybody with all those books. But thank you. We love you. Thank you for being on the show.
I'll just, I'll just keep buying more, and they can
it looks good.
Fill some spot. Jason knows me well enough, and you do too. I don't have time to read, but
I think there's a book. That book up there over your left shoulder looks like Thermal Optics for Dummies. I think is what that book, the yellow and black one. Anyway,
that's it. Written by Trent Henckell himself. So.
Yeah. So if you are looking to find out more information about AGM, you found it. This is it. I mean, I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank all the industry people for watching. Trent, I want to thank your competition for watching this show because you know they are, and for good reason. Anybody in this business definitely needs to find out what everybody else is doing. But thank you for watching. If you want to find out more about AGM, Trent, agmglobalvision.com, anywhere else they should go to. That it? Yeah.
That's it. AGM Global Vision. Instagram, I think we're AGM Hunting, and AGM Thermal Optics, I believe, is the other tag. We're really doing a lot of marketing efforts moving forward, splitting our global brand into US based and driven kind of voice. Same thing with our website. So yeah, AGM Global Vision, you can find us on all platforms, and we've got a lot more exciting things to come. Like I said, I'm not trying to tease too much, but
Right.
I'm very much excited about some of the stuff we're coming out with in June, July, for later on in the year as well. So happy to bring that news to you when and if we're ready to bring it. But everything here that we've reviewed, I mean, it's live as of the release of this show.
So
right,
with that being said, I'm going to tease something real quick. Go check out, stay tuned to the Late Night Vision Show. Check out all of our past episodes. If we've talked about scopes that you have no idea about, either we've already done a review on it or we're going to be doing a review on it, the latenightvision.show.com. Wanted to plug that in there, Jason. Go ahead.
Sure. No, that's it. All I was going to say is thanks for coming back on. And yes, you get something teed up in June or July or whenever it is, and we will absolutely get you back on here, and you can come here for all your breaking news. We would love for you to do it. We might be at the beach. We might be, get us all down there with a little drink with an umbrella in it. But hey, we can do it.
I see a live from Miami podcast coming up.
Hey, I'll do that.
Hey. Hey, I'm not ashamed of the umbrella drink. I'm sorry, Hans. I mean, I'll take the umbrella drink.
Y'all are gonna have to bring your wives along. That might as well be a couple show.
For sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Really do. Thanks again for coming out, Trent. We appreciate it. Thank you, AGM. And guys, until next time, y'all stay safe in the fields. Keep making those bacon pancakes.